Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I figured my first video of 2023 had to be one of organizing. And if you haven't taken your Christmas decor down yet, I hope this will give you the motivation you might be needing to get started. I wanted to include my favorite tips when it comes to storing seasonal decor. I get questions all the time on any kind of tips I can share when it comes to storing decor. So it doesn't really matter what season it is, all of these tips will apply to any kind of seasonal decor. Starting with this ornament organizing bin, this is actually just a bonus tip. I wasn't planning on including this because this is something that you'll want to do next year if you are on the hunt for some kind of bin to organize all of your ornaments in. I would recommend going to Joann's a week before Christmas. This is when they have their sale. It's between 75 and 90% off all of their storage bins. So I picked this up. It was normally $60 and I think this was less than $10. I was able to store all of my ornaments from our tree this year in this one bin. And I love that the separators are interchangeable. So you can decide the size of the squares. And that also allowed me to include my garland. So literally everything on my tree is in one spot. All right, tip number one is to remove your batteries. I always forget to do this, so I'm just here to remind you if you are someone who does the same thing I do every year, you forget to take the batteries out, and then next year you go to pull out your lights and everything is just corroded. So if you have already put your decor away and you forgot this step, I would pull the bins back out and make sure to remove all of those batteries so you're not needing to get new lights every single year. Tip number two is to start getting clear bins. I have slowly been replacing all of my colored bins to clear, and I know this opinion varies person to person. Some people think it looks cluttered to have clear bins and you can see what's inside of them, but we personally store our bins in our yard, in a storage shed, so they're not something that I see all the time. I like to be able to look into the bin and see what's inside rather than have to sort through bins and just guess what I think is inside of them. So again, I have been slowly changing out my bins. I think this is the last of it. I don't think I have any more colored bins. So now all of my bins officially are clear and I can see into them. My third tip is to store by section. So I used to store all my garland together, all my wood pieces together, all of my glass together, but I found it was really hard to remember where things went in my house. I always thought I would remember, and then by the time the year passed, I get things out and I could not remember where I styled each piece. So what I do now is I keep everything in one bin for the mantle, then I'll move on to the breakfast nook and I will store everything that goes on the breakfast nook into that bin. And this has saved me so much time, and when I'm looking for something specific based on the location that I use to decorate it. Now, while I'm on this topic, my next tip is to label each bin. This will also save you a lot of time. That way you know where each bin goes. So you can see here I'm writing down the kitchen and dining room decor. I was able to fit all of my kitchen and dining decor in one bin this year. So I have that labeled on the front and on the side, labeling them by location. I usually don't decorate all at once, so I will have my husband run out and grab me the mantle bin, and then I will probably start with that. That's usually what I start with every year, is the mantle, and this way I have one bin that needs to be brought in instead of all the bins and trying to sort through every single thing and decide what goes where.
May you always find your way to higher ground. May you always keep your head held up high. Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough. Just the sight of you when I'm at my weakest point makes a world of difference, oh you make me strong. Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough. Ordering a cup of love, feel it rising up and above. You will always keep my heart and soul strong. Plant your seeds and watch them grow. The light will always know where to go. You will always keep my heart and soul strong. You're the first thing in the morning and the last. Baby, you're my future and you are my past. Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough. Ordering a cup of love, feel it rising up and above. You will always keep my heart and soul.
Tip number 5 is to use bags and rags for your glass. And I'm sure this is something most of us are already doing, but grocery bags are my favorite to use when wrapping mugs and glass decor. I have never broken anything in my life, knock on wood, by doing this technique. Just simple bags wrapped around each other. When glass rubs against each other, they tend to break and crack, especially out in the weather because we experience freezing temperatures. I don't know, I just don't want my glass touching. So this is a really easy way to do that. And then I also use our seasonal rags. So for example, I have some Christmas rags that I'm not going to use any other time. So I will also use some of those to wrap my bigger glass items. Tip number 6 is for storing your wreaths. So if you store your wreaths on hooks, or if you happen to have some spare space in a closet, this is a great tip. Hook your wreath to a hanger and then place a garbage bag over the top and tug the pull string at the bottom to help keep your wreath nice and covered. I hook mine in our storage shed outside, so I want to keep it protected, but if you're storing yours inside, you could skip the bag step altogether and just hang your wreaths on a hanger in a closet.
wasted in injustice, dead in the eye of time. Nobody is losing. Faces merchant change, but your face remains the same. The swallows will be here by
My 7th tip is on storing garland that is easily tangled. So both of these garlands in my boys' bedroom on their bookshelves tangle really easily. So what I like to do is wrap them around something, and it can be anything. Since these go in their book area, it's easy for me to just wrap them around a small book and then stick them in a Ziploc bag, and I never have to untangle them. This tip also works with fairy lights and Christmas lights. Use anything. I've seen people use egg cartons to wrap lights around. Anything like that will prevent them from tingling. I ran out of daylight, so this is the next morning if you're wondering why I changed again. But it felt so good to finally take everything down and have a fresh space with really no decor. I usually wait a few weeks before getting out my regular house decor. I just love the minimal look after staring at so much decor through the fall and the winter months. But I will be sure to share videos as I start to decorate again, and I plan on hitting the thrift store here soon. So I thought I'd make a video and bring you guys along with me doing that. But I'm gonna stop talking now. There is a few more minutes of me cleaning the rest of my kitchen area. I always love to see these clips after people put Christmas away. It just looks so nice and clean and not so cluttered. So I will leave you guys here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not yet hit that red subscribe button, make sure you do that, and we will see you guys in the next video.
no sleep, my veins run dry, I'm empty. I can't see, I'm blinded by this concrete. And I should call you, see what you've been up to. I've been wondering, how far did you go in 7 months? I bet you're happy and don't think that much about me. Here I am, not knowing how to move on without you. Without you. New face, same old good anxiety. Where's your irony? Just smile wide, 'cause I got everything I need, but not what I wanted. 'Cause I just wanted you. And if I could, I'd leave this city too. I don't blame you. And I should call you, see what you've been up to. I've been wondering, how far did you go in 7 months? I bet you're happy and don't think that much about me. Yeah,